Right. So we're just going to start off with that, just a little bit of upstanding, just a gentle jog or a march, just to kind of get that heart rate up. So yeah, 30 seconds, off we go. Just a light shoulder rotations, just light shoulder, just get a little mobility into the shoulders, and then, or you can go for a little bit faster if you feel you can. We're going to go backwards, nice deep breathing, and then forwards again. And backwards. Okay, so up there, we're just going to have a 15 seconds recovery, and then we're just going to do a little bit of a squat. Don't worry about range, so sitting back, or the seated version, we're going to here, so we're getting in practice for that sit to stand for this week or next. So you're ready to go again, so 30 seconds. So squat, we can either squat out in front, hands up front, or hands on your hips. Just sitting the weight back, bracing the core, keeping your heels down, comfortable range while we're getting a wee bit more. So that's sit to stand option here, if you feel that works better. It's good to have use a little bit of upper body in there, feet pointed out. Okay, last few. Right, and rest there. So now we're going to go 15 seconds. We're just going to do a touch and overhead. If you feel that this makes you a little bit more nauseous, and then just take the seated version and just do a little bit of a hip hinge, okay? Or you can seated version, reach overhead. Okay, ready to go again? So that's it, and up overhead reach. Sitting down into upper head. So make sure that you breathe out as you're coming up, breathe in, nice and controlled movements. Your seated version. If you feel it's too much in the upper body as well, you can just do a little bit of a hip hinge, keeping that core engaged, roll the shoulders back and down, always shoulders in line with your hips. And relax there. Okay, we're going to do them all again. So we're going to go back to that light jog, and the shoulder rotations. Okay, let's go again. So that's shoulder rotations. If you want to do a little bit bigger movement this time, that's also fine. That's it. And backwards. Again, or even if you're doing just one at a time, that's also fine. If you feel that it's too much to do in the two. Forwards again. That's fine. We're really a little bit quicker. And back again. And shake it off. 15 seconds, and then we're going into body weight squats again. So you're just thinking on that little bit more range and a little bit more deeper. So you're thinking about sitting down, and if you can, advanced option, even have your hands overhead. Okay, off we go. Sitting down, then your seated option. Maybe you want to miss out the hands. Rolling off the feet as you come up to standing, or just comfortable range here. Just nice and controlled, big breathe out as you're coming up. Keeping the heels glued to the floor, try not to make sure they come up all the way in the back. Last few seconds. Okay, and relax there, 15 seconds. And then we're going on to total mind blank. What was the other one? Oh yeah, sit down and stand up and reach. Total mind blank there. So ready to go again. 3, 2, 1. So overhead and up here. Again, you can do that hip hinge. And here, so that's standing option with the seated version. overhead. Nice, breathe out when you're nice and long, breathe in when you're controlling that down. Good, feel nice and long and tall at the top. Last few seconds, nearly there. And relax there. Okay, take a wee drink of water while we get set up for the next one. Keep staying hydrated. So basically, yeah, our advanced options are going to be on the floor, and we've got seated, and then we've got standing, or you even using the wall. So the first one is going to be upper back rotations. So you've got the even using the wall against here, so you've got a little bit of a rotation over here. You're thinking about the back of the shoulders. Go over a little bend of the elbow. Try and this here seated version. Rotate, and then advanced option on the floor, and you're going rotation over here. Can everyone see me okay? Yep. Okay, so 60 seconds of work and 30 seconds recovery. Okay, so are you ready for the first round? In 10 seconds, keep it an easy number. So yeah, if you're using the floor ones, just make sure we're able to see you. Even just a little bit of you is absolutely fine. Just let me know you're okay. Okay, off we go. So I'm just going to do the standing option here. So you're thinking of the back of the shoulders, little bend, and for yourself, Helen, just a comfortable range. You might want to get your hips will move ever so slightly, but everyone else, if you try and keep the shoulders in line with your hips a little bit more. So we'll be getting another 2 rounds of these. Thing that rotation, back the shoulders, see, feeling like at the rear of your shoulders, feeling that stretch at the back. Nice deep breathing, so it's nice and relaxed. Head is flat on the floor. So we've got another 15 more seconds. Nice, so keeping the back of your shoulders, you're keeping your spine glued to the floor option, shoulders in line, and last few seconds. And relax there. Okay, so you've got 30 seconds recovery. So looking in, so you can stay sitting on the floor because they're on the floor if you want to keep that in options. But the next one is going to be a knee rotations. Okay, so we've got a seated version. Is hand here. You're just doing a little bit of a knee, roll it from side to side, so your hips are going to move. Helen, yours will move a little bit more. Floor ones on the floor. So you've got knee rotation here, over here, or you've got folding over, even advanced ones over to the other side. Okay, ready to get going. I think that's about 60 seconds recovery there. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So 60 seconds of work. So keeping your feet flat on the floor if you're doing this one option here. And you feel a little bit of rotation through the hips. Shoulders in line with your hips. Nice and gentle and controlled, comfortable range. Just try and push a little bit as you get a little bit more looser. Or you've got this option here. So you have your head flat, but I'm just coming up so I can see you. Right, we're over halfway. Or we've got this one here, just keeping that lower back glued to the floor and rotating round if you can. Last 10 seconds. Nearly there. Okay, and relax there. And recover there. So the next one is going to be pelvic tilts. Okay, so I'll show you the standing version or even a wall version. So using even the back of the wall, and what you're going is just tiny movements. pelvic tilts. So you're tilting posterior into the exterior. Tilts here, just comfortable range for yourself. You've got the seated option, comfortable range Helen. So you can do this fine, just comfortable range, make sure you're bracing the core. Or you've got the stand on the floor version. So tiny, tiny movements, that pelvic floor tilts. Okay, we're ready to go again? Off we go. Okay, so doing the floor option, so you're bringing your tailbone under, and there's a tiny movement, moving the hips forward and back. So this is you bracing your core, good for working the pelvic floor, and nice, focusing on that nice deep breathing. So in the front, in the back, keep a slight bend in the back of your knees. Nice deep breathing. Your seated version. Okay, that's just halfway. Still thinking in that posture as well, thinking your shoulders in line with your hips as you're moving your pelvic forward and back. So we're just coming up for our last 10 seconds. And relax there. Recover there. So now we're moving on to upper body clams. So we've got our standing version, with your hands out in front, soft knees, and then rotate, looking over your shoulder and alternating sides. So that's your standing option. Seated option, still focusing on that nice upright posture. And then looking over your shoulder. And then on the floor option, you're bringing over to the other side. Sorry, both hands over a little bit more. Okay, ready to go again? And let's off we go. Floor body clams. So that over your shoulder and coming in. So feeling that open up of the chest. So nice deep breathing. What you'll find is, Helen, you'll just do a little bit more of a twist, just so you can keep that nice neutral spine position. Nearly there. So now 30 more seconds, halfway. Okay, last 10 seconds. And relax there. Okay, so next one is going back on to the leg, so internal external rotation. It's a little bit different. So seated knees side to side. So what you're going to do is, seated version is more internal and external. So you've got this option here. So you're bringing your knees inwards. And then on the floor, you've got that knee in rotation. And then the advanced option is one straight and coming over, reset, down, change, straight, up, reset. Ready to go again? So on the floor, so we've got internal, so this is the middle option. So it's internal, external rotation. So we can open up the hips on the floor, coming back the way. We've got that advanced option here. So lift the knee, rotate over, keeping the lower back glued to the floor, goes back of their shoulders, down, reset if you're doing this option, and over, support, keeping that seated version. you're just thinking of a little knee tap inwards. Keep the shoulders in line with your hips. Sorry, we've got one more after these. Take in. Comfortable range again, just moving that knee in nice and slow and controlled. Forwards. Doing this one here and relax there. Recover there. So quite similar to our strength one. So what we're going to do is we've got your inter rotation and down and then coming in. So last week we did this with weights. This week we're doing it just with body weight. So you've got the standing, or you can even use the wall to get that rotation comfortable range. Or you've got the seated version, or you've got onto the floor and you're just keeping the lower back glued to the floor, getting that full rotation forward and backwards. Alright, ready to go again? 60 seconds of work. 3, 2, 1. So that's that tap and then tap. If you can't touch, that's also fine. Don't worry about that. As long as you get that rotation through the shoulders. Then we just take the rest, a little shoulder roll if you feel it's too much in the upper body. You've got the seated version. Always good to have a point of reference, like the floor or the wall, to push and pull against. So we're over halfway. Nice deep breathing. This is the last one, last 15 seconds. Nearly there. And relax there. Okay, everyone doing okay? Yeah, brilliant. Just a wee thumbs up and doing in there. Good. You can see as well. So yeah, take a drink if you need to. So we're going to do all them again. This time we're trying to get the 60 and the full 30 seconds recovery in between. So it's all fairly new. So if you found all those exercises on the floor is right for you, or the seated version, then yeah, you just stick with what you're doing just now, because I've got another more 2 rounds in these. It's just more me getting up and off the floor. So upper back one. So we've got a little bit of our shoulders and rotate round or seated. So it's just a bit smaller movement than the other one. So you're thinking of the shoulders and more flat in the back. So ready? We're going again. 60 seconds of work in 3, 2, 1. Okay, off we go. So feeling that more in the rear of your shoulders, into your back, upper back, more of that of a stretch. So you might find that if you're doing the floor option, it's a little bit smaller movement than you would seated. Good. Nice and controlled, nice deep breathing as you're moving from your one side to the other. We've got 15 more seconds. Nearly there. And relax there. So 30 seconds recovery. So we're going in those knee rolls or hip rotations. So it's both knees or legs are going the same way. Or we've got the floor option. Or you've got your knees up and come both all the way over other side. And there we are. So we're ready to go again. In 3, 2, 1. Off we go. you're lifting your knees up is a lot of bracing of the core, so thinking your knees in line with your hips here, and if you can fold all the way over, that's great, as long as the lower back is glued to the floor as you're rotating round. Sorry, the upper back is glued to the floor and your core is engaged. So we're 30 seconds in. So it is very similar to other exercise. Nearly there, we've got 10 more seconds. That's 5. And relax there. But 30 seconds recovery. So pelvic tilts. So standard and seated option. So hands on your hips. And just that small movement, remember. So you always keep a slight bend back of your knees. And you're just feeling that little bit of a tilt, pelvic tilt. Or this here. Or floor. So I did it on your back, but also you can do pelvic tilts like a cat-cow position here. So you're getting into your spine. Alright, okay, off we go when you're ready. Let's go. So your bum is not coming off the floor, but you just feel that in the pelvic floor and the tailbone kind of coming forward and coming back. Tiny, tiny movements. This is a great one to work on your hips. Core stability, core strength, as well as mobility. 60 seconds of work. So even if you want a point of reference using the wall, and my heater's here, so it's a bit more flat for me. So little pelvic tilts, keep that slight bend. You feel it lengthening through the core, forward and backwards. 20 more seconds. Nice deep breathing. Comfortable range for yourself, Helen, not too big where you feel that a little bit of stretch. Last 5 seconds. And relax there. Next one is our upper body clams. So our seated version. Now we're open, closing of the chest. Standing. And then on the floor. Oops. Actually, we'll go all the way over. We'll do the full body. Right, off we go in 3, 2, 1. So there's a little bit more range than the shoulder ones. So you're getting your shoulder come off a little bit off the floor if you're using that floor option. And looking over your shoulder. Yourself, Helen, you might want to move the hips a little bit more. Just getting right into those opening of the chest and your shoulders, and through thoracic spine. Good. Really focus on that breathing. So big inhale through the nose, exhaling through your mouth. And try not hold on to your breath. Last 15. Nearly there. Slower the better, and relax there. So we're going to internal and external rotation with our legs. So you're thinking about the knees coming in and reset. On the floor option. And then an advanced option is straighten out one leg and then hinging over here, keeping the lower back glued. Apply a little bit of pressure, but not too much where you're finding a little bit ache in the lower back. So ready to go again in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So off we go. Internal, external rotation, keeping your shoulders glued to the floor. Brace those abs, abdominals, and pulling it in. Standing, a more advanced option. Pulling it over, gently pulling across. Don't force it if it becomes too uncomfortable. And you're seated. Just kind of good to waken up the hips. Internal, external. So your little pull in the middle, and then reset. Trying to keep your feet flat on the floor. 15 more seconds. Nice tall posture. Last 5 seconds. And relax there. So, well, last one. We're going to go again. So that's the chicken wings, the internal, external rotation, and down. And do this option. Or on the wall. Just stick here. A little tap. And then on the floor. We're going in 5 seconds, so get ready. Off we go. Little tap, slow and controlled, as you're coming in and out of the stretch. You can see me okay. That's it. So you're thinking on that upper body rotation, coming up. It's good to have that wall. Good. Nice, focus on your breathing. Good, well done. So we've got another 20 more seconds. So this is the last one of this round again. Nearly there. Last 5 seconds. And recover there. Okay, so how are we all doing? Knackered from being on the floor? Okay, so we're going to do another round. And if you feel at this stage that 2 is enough for you, then just take the rest, and you can just join in when you're ready. So back onto the upper back, and it's just that small movement. So we're going to, is everyone okay to try 15 seconds recovery in between? Yep. No. Okay, we'll go with 15, but you need to take the rest, take it. Just someone's got, I don't know if some people are frozen. Right, so ready to go in, so the advanced option, so that's the shoulder, just tiny bit, 60 seconds of work, off we go. So it'll feel like more of a stretch at the back, a little pull at the back of your shoulders. Try and really push the shoulders down onto the floor as you're rotating from one side to the other. Feeling that's right across the back there, that stretch. Okay, 15 more seconds. So you keep going with that one. So in 10 seconds, we're going on to your knee rolls. So in 5 seconds, we're going to be going into these ones here. So just demonstrating just now. So rest there, 15 seconds recovery. So these option side to side. not long, and then ready, going back in, off we go. Or you've got these ones here, where you're coming over to the other side, and then pull it over. So that does involve a little bit of core strength. So if you do feel like you can maybe drop one side and control the other one down, you don't need to go all the way over. Just try and focus on that range of movement. So we've got 20 more seconds. So you're just moving your knees, seated option, right to left. 5 more seconds. And rest there. Pelvic tilts are next. So whatever option they are in, we're on the floor or seated. We're going in 5 seconds. So 3, 2, 1. So that's this here. So just show if you're doing on your back, you've also got on all fours, cat-cow position here. So even getting into your upper back a little bit more as well. Squeeze everything in and then release to the top. So another 15 seconds. So pelvic tilts. So there's standing option. 5 more seconds. And relax there. 15 seconds recovery. So back on to upper body clams. So over here is a little bit more rotation. Standing, so we're going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So clock started. 60 seconds of work. A little bit more over your shoulders, so you find your shoulder come up a little bit more as you get in, so more into the thoracic spine as well as your shoulders, and looking over a little bit more. Head flat on the floor. 20 more seconds. Feel like I'm doing more crunchies than anything. Over your shoulder. 10 more seconds. And relax there. So we've got internal and external rotation. So you're bringing your knees inwards. On the floor option. 1 in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So try and push that feet a little bit deeper. Even pushing that knee a little bit closer down towards the floor. Or you've got the advanced option. Pulling that over. Hold. Keeping the back of your shoulders. Little squeeze of the glutes. Reset down before you change your other leg. If you're doing this option here. Up and over. 50 more seconds. Nice deep breathing. Last few. 2, 1. Last exercise. So lateral floor. We're going this one option here. So on the floor option, the taps. Ready, off we go. Last 60 seconds of work before we're doing some static stretches. So that's it, opening, closing, so using that point of reference, back of the hand tap. Don't worry if you can't tap, don't worry, again you can use your single arm options as well. So you feel, or even coming up like this, if you feel you get a little bit more recovery, if it's upper body is a bit too much. Relax one side and then other side. And it's nearly there, we're on our last few seconds of work. And relax there. Okay, so coming up to stand, or you can remain seated. We're just going to start in a cool down. So coming up to standing when you're ready. Now what we're going to do is just a little bit of a march or a jog, and we'll just do a little bit of shoulder rotations, nice deep breathing. So nothing backwards, so not as dynamic, and forwards and backwards. And then we're just going to do a little bit of a side tap. And if you can, we're going to do a little bit of a shoulder stretch while you're cooling down as well. Again, you've got your seated options. If you feel that you're ready, feet in and out. Open up the chest. Nice breathe in, and then apply pressure. Seated option. Okay, so we're just going to stop there. Tricep stretch nice and long. Bring your hand behind, a little bend in the knee, pull it in. Or if you've had enough, take a wee seat, take the rest. Nice deep breathing. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and increase that range of movement as you exhale. And slowly release. Nice and long. Behind. Okay, so we're going to use a little bit into the lats. So looking over your shoulder, you hold on to the chair. Feel it stretch into here. Or you can come on, if you use a lot of floor exercises, then you can come in and scoop under here. So this is an option here, threading the needle if you want to get a little bit more into the lats. Inhale, as you exhale, you're sinking your shoulders down towards the floor. Inhale for yourself, just move your hips round and then coming up. And then switch into the other side. Here, or if you're doing the seated version, looking over your shoulder here. Hamstring, so you've got your foot out in front and then you're hinging forward. Or you've got in the floor version, if you're staying on the floor, lying on your back. One knee here, and we'll try and straighten out, apply pressure above or below, and then a big inhale as you're pulling it in. Just advancing some of the stretches. Big inhale, exhale as you're coming in. Again, just comfortable range. Inhale. Okay, when you're ready, switch sides. Inhale, exhale into the stretch. Really pull those shoulder blades down so you still think your shoulders in line with your hips. Try not to fall forward. Quads, so you can either push back, lower that knee, or you've got your standing quad stretch, supporting the wall. Or you've got another 4-1 coming on here and pulling up the knee. So last couple exercises. Switch legs. Nice deep breathing. Hands are wide. Give yourself a round of applause. Well done. Thanks very much.